Welcome in Chiefs Kingdom to Cheifs Latest, your one-stop spot for everything Kansas City Chiefs in 15 minutes or less. It is your host, Calvin Silvers. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. I know we haven't even gotten through Thanksgiving yet, but I got in the Christmas spirit, put up the Christmas tree, and just thought I'd switch up the vibes. But hey, we still have an action-packed episode, so let's go ahead and dive into it. But before we do, you guys know the drill. If you haven't already, come on over, join the Chiefs Latest family, hit that subscribe button, and also turn on those notifications because we have daily, that's right, daily videos here at Chiefs Latest, Monday through Friday. You don't want to miss any of the news, rumors, or actions regarding this team. So like I said, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications as it not only helps me in the channel, but it's going to help you stay up to date with everything Kansas City Chiefs. Now, yesterday, I was talking about how Isaiah Pacheco had his own return date set. He said, I am ready to come back on Thursday. Well, the Chiefs never confirmed that until Andy Reid said yesterday that, you know what? Pacheco is ready to go. So that's good news for us Chiefs fans as our starting running back is now back in the mix. He's been out a full month, as we know, with that MCL sprain that he suffered against the Commanders. So he's been out at least 3 games. Reed said that they'll probably have to ease him in. You know, he's not probably going to get all the carries right away. But the good news is, and the only news I really needed to hear is that he is ready to suit up against Dallas. He was a full participant again on Tuesday, making it now multiple full practices in a row. Again, he practiced all the last week, but Andy Reid just wanted to hold him back to make sure he was 100% healthy and didn't have to play on such a short week. Now, you may be asking about Dameon Pierce, who the Chiefs added through the practice squad, and Reed said that, quote, we'll see as far as his future involvement, end quote. So they're probably just getting him up to speed as fast as they can, but he's still eyeing that return next week when the Chiefs go against the Houston Texans, his former team. Now, on Kareem Hunt, Reed basically said that a 30-carry game was impressive for a guy his age. I think we can all agree on that, but also made it clear that they're not trying to run him into the ground again, especially on a short week. He said, quote, he's upright, end quote. I just love that. Short, sweet, quote unquote, he's upright. So he's doing all right, but again, he can't take 30-plus carries in a game. But it's great timing to find the run game and have Pacheco back. As Dallas, they were getting gashed on the ground early in the season, but I get it. Since they grabbed Quinnen Williams, they allow the fewest rush yards per game and the 4th lowest yards per carry. But looking at the bad news now, Noah Gray with that concussion, Trey Smith with that ankle, they did not practice again on Tuesday. So the short week plus those injuries mean that there's almost a 0% chance that those two are going to be ready on Thanksgiving Day. Roland Wallace, he got downgraded to limited with the back. Not ideal for a guy who's been playing a lot of snaps recently. Spags has been leaning into him. And on the Cowboys side, their starting tackle, Tyler Guyton, he has an ankle issue. He did not practice Tuesday after getting hurt against Philadelphia. So Pacheco changes everything. Fresh legs, an aggressive downhill runner, and just takes the load off of Hunt before he ends up breaking and adding too much mileage. Pierce waiting in the wings, Rice and Worthy full participants in practice after being limited on Monday. This offense could continue to improve with healthy bodies. That's the key there. So let's just hope everyone stays healthy here as we get ready for Dallas. All right, some things to watch for now since we've been talking about the Cowboys. So let's go ahead, look ahead to Thanksgiving still. Some things to watch for is Dallas' absolute nightmare at wideout right now. You got George Pickens and you got CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, pick your poison there. Pickens is second in the league with 1,054 yards, on pace for 90-plus catches, 1,600 yards, and a dozen touchdowns. He just lives on contested catches. He's amazing. His craft is beautiful. Lamb, he's at 632 yards and one of the better slot weapons in the game right now. Explosive after the catch, killer routes. What can't this guy do in the slot? So that's going to be a brutal test here for our secondary. Can Trent McDuffie and the boys rise up? McDuffie should be fine on Lamb. I trust McDuffie there, but Pickens eating those 50-50 balls is not a great matchup for really anybody back there in our secondary. On the flip side, though, Dallas's defense is still 29th in total yards allowed, and they give up 289 passing yards at home. Then you factor in Mahomes' success when he plays under a dome. I think this could be a nice bounce back game, not only for our offense, but for Patrick Mahomes. Matt Eberflus, he loves his zone looks, especially cover two. Perfect. That's exactly the soft stuff that Rashee Rice and Patrick Mahomes feast on. Rice finds the holes. Kelsey even is going to thrive in that zone coverage there. I just kind of like what this could provide us. Both teams are coming off emotional, physical wars. We needed overtime just to survive Indy. They erased a 21-0 hole to beat Philadelphia. Short week. Both sides are feeling it. Both sides are feeling exhausted here. Who wants it more? With both seasons on the line. So with Thursday, then we hit the mini bye. Get a win here. You got some momentum and a much clearer path the rest of the way. It's huge. So this is just a classic trap or launch spot. Survive Pickens, survive Lambs, exploit the zone coverage, let Mahomes cook a little bit in the dome, and we walk out of Thanksgiving with the season back on track. You lose this game and the walls close in a little more, a little faster. So again, this is just a huge game overall. So let's look back here at some history. Again, this game is really a first for the Chiefs in a long time, as they will be back on Thanksgiving for the first time in almost 20 years. The last time was back in 2006. And a lot has changed since 2006. Think about it. Andy Reid, he was coaching the Eagles. Patrick Mahomes, he was still in elementary school. So was I. And Taylor Swift dropped her debut album. The franchise record on Thanksgiving sits at 5-5, but dig a little deeper, and 3 of those games came in the AFL. And they also went 0-1 in one game as the Dallas Texans before they moved to Kansas City back in 1962. The real Chiefs Thanksgiving post-AFL merger record, just 2-4. The last AFL Thanksgiving game was a win over Denver. I mean, that's pretty fitting there. Lamar Hunt pushed hard after the merger to get KC a permanent Thanksgiving spot, just like Dallas has, and even Detroit. But as we've seen, it does not happen, as they got shipped in Detroit twice instead. And after that, they're like, we're kind of done with the Chiefs. The AFL actually had double Thanksgiving headers from 67 to 69, and the Chiefs, they were in all 3 because they were a powerhouse back then. But after the merger, the league basically forgot about us on Thanksgiving, as I mentioned, with only 4 appearances in the next 20 years. Funny enough, though, we've become holiday regulars lately. This is the 3rd straight year that we're going to be playing on Christmas. And now Thanksgiving looks like it might be back in the mix. So it's about time we got another Thanksgiving stage. History says we've been average when we actually get the invite. So off a short week, the big spotlight, a chance to make a statement. Let's see how the Chiefs respond. And again, some prime time action here on Thanksgiving. Just kind of a fun little history lesson for all you Chiefs fans. Well, now stick with me here as I talk about Lou Anarumo. As Sunday, we overcame his defense when it mattered the most. But hey, we barely did it. It just shows how good he is as a defensive coordinator. The guy has owned us before even. We remember that 2022 AFC title game, 4 sacks, 2 picks from Mahomes. Yes, it gives us all nightmares. He spent 6 years in Cincinnati making Mahomes look human. It's hard to do that. He went only 4-3 against the Bengals. Mahomes did 1-1 in the playoffs. Not many coordinators can say that they've done that. The Giants, as we know, just fired their head coach, Brian Daboll, and guess who's reportedly over the top on their list? Yes, Spags was atop the list, but now the good news is for Chiefs fan is that Lou, he's the favorite now. Him and the general manager, Joe Schoen, they go back all the way to the Dolphin days. And Arumo hasn't really shut the door even on head coaching talk, even saying this week that it's a career goal, quote, down the road, while pretending to be focused solely on Houston coming up here, which I'm sure the Colts are, and he is as well. But you cannot tell me that this isn't in the back of the mind, especially now that he's a favorite. His Colts defense right now, top 7 in takeaways, top 6 in sacks, top 10 in points allowed. If the Giants do snag him, that's one less Mahomes boogeyman in the AFC. And Spags, the good news would stay likely in Kansas City. So let him go torture the NFC East instead. And we'll keep Spags. We'll wave goodbye to those Anarumo nightmares. I think it's a win-win for Chiefs Kingdom overall. Well, that's all that I have for you guys on this Thanksgiving Eve. Let me know in the comments what you think about Isaiah Pacheco returning and what you think he will do for the run game. And What'd you think about the little history lesson here on the Chiefs on Thanksgiving? Even some things that I had to be taught and wanted to share with you guys. As I mentioned, you are listening to Chiefs Latest. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I'm your host, Calvin Silvers, and until next time, have a good one.